I am having a small network not connection error. Those of you on YouTube, I think I'm going to restart this program and then we're going to come back in few seconds. So stay there, don't go anywhere. Facebook need to connect. Facebook is not connected. So bear with me, guys. It is pouring. All right, we don't really need to go out. Facebook is connected. Thanks for your patience. I hope we're coming out clear. Can you hear me from YouTube, guys? Let's see Facebook if we are coming out clear. All right, we don't really. Okay, guys, if you're joining this program, kindly share the video, tap this. Okay, if you are joining this program, kindly give us a like, share the video. If you are on YouTube, give us a like for the algorithm to do the sharing. I might be cutting off and on because of my signal, but we're going to manage it however it is. I promised to do this program earlier. I sent the notification on Facebook, but it's quite unfortunate that I didn't make it. My apologies to each and every one of you who were waiting for me at earlier time as scheduled, but time choked. So welcome to the program. Wherever you are joining, share the video, like the video for the algorithm to do more sharing. Today we are talking about the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. We're going to be specific and we're not going to take much of your time. In the next 40 minutes, we are done. 40 minutes, we are done. So we are talking about Nnamdi Kanu. But before, this was supposed to be my focus. This was supposed to be my focus. This Kanu abandoned plan to enter the fence, insist on no case submission. This is my focus. The reason why I decided to pick on this previous news was because it is very, very crucial and important, having seen the message that was sent there. The message was very clear, where the judge was begging Nnamdi Kanu to pick up a legal team. The judge was begging Nnamdi Kanu to pick up a legal team. We are going to read it first before we go into this, because what you have on your screen is very, very important that we go through it and we dissect it in accordance we dissect it accordingly in line with how a layman we'll understand what is going on there, because most time, there are these terms that are used, the legal terms that are used, that many people cannot understand exactly what he's talking about, because legal term is not basically a normal, word that our people use on day-to-day activities. So that's why we are here, to make sure that we talk about, we break it down for you to understand exactly what this means, and then what are we expecting, what are we supposed to do. This is very, very important. So keep on sharing the video as we go into it. So, again, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, judge, the judge that is presiding over Nnamdi Kanu's case. This is him. This is his message to Nnamdi Kanu. His message to Nnamdi Kanu. It says, terrorism judge begs Nnamdi Kanu in God's name to consult a lawyer. Now, I want to show you the intricacies in this judge, submission. Because if the judge is begging Nnamdi Kanu to pick up a legal team, there are two things that are involved in it. But let us read it first. I will read and I will break it down. I will read and I break it down so that we will move faster. So, it says, proceeding in the terrorism trial of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, took a dramatic turn on Monday as the trial judge resulted to begging the defendant in the name of God to consult properly before proceeding to defend himself. Noting that Kanu had earlier fired his lawyers and opted to defend himself, Justice Omotoshe stressed that he needed to consult experts because this is not economics, this is criminal prosecution. Now let's actually, talk about the path or the area that we have actually read. Now think about it. Nnamdi Kanu, the presiding judge, who has actually delayed this case for he has delayed this case ever since he took over this matter. He has been delaying this case to an extent that he went on vacation as well, notwithstanding that this man is a family man. Not just that he is a family man, this man was sick and he was ill in DSS custody, and he was not being taken care of adequately as per needed. So in this regard, the same judge ruled that he will not go outside to seek medical care. This same judge that cared so much that he was begging Nnamdi Kanu in the name of God to actually have a legal representative. This same judge is the same judge who actually overturned the plan for Nnamdi Kanu to seek for medical care outside of the DSS facility or proper hospital. He actually ruled against the decision. The same man who cared so much to an extent that he begs Nnamdi Kanu to seek for a legal team, to look for a legal team, the same judge has been delaying this matter. The same judge has overturned the no-case submission that was submitted by Nnamdi Kanu's legal team. This was not submitted by Nnamdi Kanu himself. It was done by Nnamdi Kanu's legal team. And the legal team, in their capacity as a legal team, as a legal practitioner who studied the law, decided that after duly, studying that case submitted by the federal government, they submitted that there is no case, there is no prima facie for them to proceed for defense, because the presentation of the federal government does not warrant them to go into defense mode, because there is no prima facie. When there is no prima facie, there is no step in, there is no step into defense. That's what it simply means. But in this regard, they decided that they will overturn the no case submission. The same judge, he cares so much, and the same judge undermines the international laws that governs extradition. The same judge undermines it, because a judge, a learned and competent judge, before they proceed to any case, first thing first, especially case of rendition and extradition, first thing first, if there was a case citing that there could be a flaw in the way this man was brought into the country, number one, if a learned and a competent judge is citing that there could be inconsistencies in the cases that are presented to him, he will eventually stall the case and go into trial. Probably there should be a court proceedings that will lead them into trial upon trial, or trial in a trial. The trial in a trial is to ascertain whether or not there is indeed consistencies in the rendition of this man, so that the court will be on a good note, because court is like, he who goes to equity must go with a clean hands. That is court for you. Court should always, go with a clean hands, because they are equity. Court should be the equity that everyone must come with a clean hands. Most, importantly, the judge did not try to establish a trial within a trial in order to ascertain whether or not there is a flaw in the way that the case was conducted from Britain, from Kenya to everywhere it is. The court did not actually try, because they don't want to pay attention to the law that they are breaking. They don't want to pay attention to the law that has been broken by the nation, by the federal government of Nigeria. The same law that they are signatory to Universal Declaration of Human Rights, international laws, but recognized that by Geneva's Convention that they sit to on every year. The court and Nigeria violated that treaty that they signed and they are part of. They violated it. The court is entertaining that violation. Tell me, in any court in the world, regardless of whether or not you are the biggest thief in the world that everyone is looking for you, as long as there is no due process followed in your transfer, as long as there is violation of your right, the court must stall in order to treat that violation, because the Constitution says you have right to fair hearing. That is what the Constitution of Nigeria says. I think section 36 and 37. Within that, section 36 and 37 of 1999 Constitution as amended. So you have right to fair hearing. Fair hearing. If your right has been violated, it is no longer, and the court undermines it, it is not a fair hearing. This is against the judicial system. This is against the judicial process. That is exactly the reason why you will see, or I said that the court's supposed to stall and look for exactly the inconsistencies and the complaint about extraordinary rendition to see if there is truth to it. Now, let's assume that the court didn't have time for that. Kenya court, where everything began, declared the transfer declared the transfer illegal, which means Nigeria did not only violate international law, they also violate the local laws in Kenya by kidnapping a tourist rather, that was touring in Kenya. They kidnapped him in Kenya soil. They flew him from Kenya to Nigeria, violating Kenyan's authority, undermining Kenyan's law. And then the court heard that rumor, heard the court hearing in Kenya. The judge, who cares so much, by begging Nnamdi Kanu, please consult a legal practitioner so that you will be, going into criminal trial. That judge, who cares so much, did not care to consider all these things that will put this case into jeopardy. He never considered that will put the life of an innocent man at risk or into jeopardy because of a decision that a court will take. Court is the equity that we talk about. Equity, where everyone is supposed to be equal in the eyes of the law. And he who goes to equity must go with a clean hands. He who handles, things in equity must handle it with clean hands. So the judge that cared for Nnamdi Kanu by begging him in the name of God to seek for a legal, opinion, or to make sure that he has a legal backup, because this is not economics. That's what we just read. That judge, do you think that he cares? Or do you think that he wants to basically do jungle justice on Nnamdi Kanu, but he wants to do it in the presence of his lawyers? Because you are begging him to go for lawyer. He had lawyer in the last, he had son, senior advocate, former attorney general. He had lawyers, different types of lawyers, different capacities. For the past 4 years, no justice delivered. Nothing. Court is moving him from pillar to post. Court is moving him like the court is basically, using delay strategy in order to make sure that this man is in solitary confinement indefinitely. Now he chose not to use the lawyers, because the lawyers, there are some certain things the lawyers cannot bring up because of their certificate issued or license issued by the Nigeria Bar Association. There are some ethics that they don't want to bring up to avoid losing their license, even though it will enable them to thrive in that case. But they cannot bring it up because they know the country they are dealing with. They know the corruption in the system. They know that they will be prejudiced, they will be vilified and ostracized eventually if they bring some certain things out. Therefore, Nnamdi Kanu has nothing to lose. As long as he followed the protocols of delivering his, ideology or his defense or his whatever he want to say in his trial, he could. And that was going to be interesting. So why what I cite here is that the judge is begging you to bring a lawyer so that he will jail you in front of your lawyer. That's what he's telling you, because the lawyers filed no case submission. The court, the judge overturned it, stating that there is a case to answer. So let us continue to read. Let's read. Which one? Now he says, noting that Kanu had earlier fired his lawyers and opted to defend himself. Justice Omotoshe stressed that he needed to consult legal expert before legal expert, because this is not economics, this is a criminal prosecution. I am begging you in the name of God Almighty to consult properly. The judge pleaded, I am inclined to granting you the adjournment you seek. I know you are educated, but you are not a lawyer. You need to consult expert in the field. Please make adequate consultation. This is not economics. This is criminal prosecution. Please, my brother, please, my brother, make adequate consultation. Criminal cases are not like other cases. I took the opportunity to explain to the defendant because he is not a lawyer. The judge stressed. This is to act like they care when they care nothing. Dude, the judge, you really do not need to care for Nnamdi Kanus, whether you want to have a lawyer or not. The thing you need to do is to follow the Constitution of Nigeria. Work in line with the law. Stop this miscarriage of justice. Stop these delay strategies. Follow the procedures of the court. By first of all, you cannot ignore the fact that there is a clamor of illegal rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. The fact that there is a clamor in the process, that was actually taken in renditioning of Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot ignore that. As long as you ignore that, whatever you are pleading here is just you are doing mele kwamputonazu. Eye service. That is politics. Because the best thing you will do for this man is ascertain whether or not his rendition was legal. And you don't need to ascertain. The news is out there. Kenya has actually made a confirmation. They have released the court judgment that the rendition is not legal. So why are you begging in the name of God and calling him your brother? If he was your brother, Justice Omotoshe, you cannot undermine these things, because they are laws that makes you a good judge that you cannot undermine, because the clamor is there and the evidence is there in the public domain. Not just there, so in the public domain. The Kenya court ruled the extradition of Nnamdi Kanu illegal. Nnamdi Kanu, you are trying, my learned judge, my lord, is technically in Kenya. And whatever you are trying Nnamdi Kanu on is basically, supposed to be in London, right? So, my learned judge, you do not have jurisdiction to try that man that you are advising to get a lawyer. So if you do not have jurisdiction to try the man, but you are advising him to get a lawyer, that means you are not willing to give judgment. You are not willing for justice to serve its purpose. You are going to overturn the Constitution of Nigeria and the international laws. Because whatever you are accusing him of should be handled by the London's authority or UK's authority, not Nigeria. If you say he spoke that Fulani will enter Nigeria and Fulani will grape women, Fulani will unalive people, terrorists will take over Nigeria. He said that in London. And the things are happening in Nigeria today. And we can see it with our color eyes. He said all that in Europe. So he never said it in Nigeria, right? Because you are prosecuting him because he said that Fulani oligarch is planning on taking over, overrunning Nigeria. You are prosecuting him on the basis that he said that those whom are being massacred at Lekki Tollgate should rise up and defend themselves. You are prosecuting him that he is fighting for right of everybody to be preserved. You are actually prosecuting him because this man sat in London behind a mic and said that if you do A the way you do B, everything will be okay. You are prosecuting him that his people has been marginalized in the last 6 decades, and he decided to bear the brand of this, suffering of everything in order to take it upon himself and to say that Pharaoh, let my people go. That is on the basis that those are the basis of your persecution against him. And he never said, Pharaoh, let my people go in Nigeria. He said it in UK. And the last time I checked, some of these laws that you guys are making use of were made and or were influenced by Britain. Some of these laws that we are making use of is influenced by Roman statutes. Some of those laws. So why is it that those people did not see Nnamdi Kanu as a criminal or a fugitive? They never tried to arrest him or call him to question because they knew that he was doing things within his right. But Nigeria decided that they know better. To an extent, they went to extraordinary rendition this guy. So now you are begging him and calling him your brother, but you cannot follow the due process of the law and release this man. Because if you follow the due processes of the law, if you had followed the due processes of the law, there is no way, before we go back to the other one, if ye had followed the due processes of the law, there is no way we are going to get stuck or we are going to be where we are today. And talking about he has a lawyer, he does not have a lawyer. And talking about my brother, please get yourself a lawyer. Because due processes of the laws commands that you have no jurisdiction to try Kanu. Whatever you are charging him of was committed in Europe. So you should rendition him back to where you found him, write petition to the European government in order to see whether or not the Constitution is targeting this type of behavior. That's the best thing that is supposed to be done in this case scenario. That's just like Umaru Diko, Buhari, and it is the same Buhari, the same Buhari who never rest in peace and will never rest in peace. Even he died buried in a shallow grave, and eventually an impostor took over. And people have not yet recognized that impostor rules Nigeria. Impostor, body double, rules Nigeria. Because the last time we were exposing it, people are paying attention to Very Dark Man's saga with this other guy. But they don't pay attention because it is going to happen again. And the North will not say anything because they did it. If Yoruba people do it, the North will not say anything because they did it themselves. After all, they have agreed that it is the turn of the South. And the South is Yoruba. When they talk about the South, it is only the West, not the South, not the East, not the Southeast or South-South. The South is all about Yoruba. The rest of them are just numbers. So make it make sense to yourself that this imposter rendition, the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. No one is talking about it. No one added that Nnamdi Kanu called your president an imposter. For you to know exactly the stupidity in the justice system of Nigeria. They're supposed to target that defamation of the first citizen of Nigeria. It should be a big case, right? It should be a very big case, but they forgot to add it. Why? Because they knew if they add it, eventually DNA test must be conducted. Maybe all this scrutinization will happen where the man need to speak in one-on-one with the media in the language of Buhari Fufude. They undermined that because they knew they are all in it together. You wouldn't even know when this old grandfather that you left there as Tinubu, you don't know when he will buy. Because he's always missing in action. The reason why he started missing in action right now, because they have planned that even if he buy, they will bring image. They have already made it already. Waiting for when the wearer will come. Even if he buy, he will still rule you in the next 7 years. Emilokon means that it is their turn. So there is nothing you can do about it. Just get ready for that. It is going to happen. Are you going to know when it happens? No, you're not going to know. We will know, but you ain't gonna know. Why can't you know? Because you don't pay attention. You are following the saga that is being played to you by some agents in the media space. Those are the saga you are paying attention to. Distractors. They detract you from what you're supposed to pay attention to. Those are the people you pay attention to. Court undermine that claim. Whoever that wrote all those claims against Nnamdi Kanu, all those frivolous charges against him, they forgot that he insulted the president by calling him an imposter. Why would they forget that big thing? But they are pushing to imprison him. Defamation is a big thing. That can even give him jail time. Whilst we talk about his terrorism charges, right? Why would they undermine that? Because they knew imposter ruled you for 7 years or 6 years. They never paid attention. And he was in London and told you that imposter will rule you. After 2 years of leaving office, imposter will die. Dude, it happened. And that is part of the crime he committed. They never recorded it in their testimonies in court. Yes, that's why when I heard no case submission, you know what I said? That's right. Because I read those cases submitted by the federal government. When I was reading it, I was getting mad. Because I asked myself, is this the reason why this man has been kept in a solitary confinement of DSS? I thought they had something. But dude, that's embarrassing. Like, if you understand the language of the legal languages, you will understand that everything Nigeria did there was just BS. And the same judge overturned that and accepted that Rani's stomach case presented, that there is a substance to it. That Rani's stomach case that should not be admissible before the judge. and the judge found substance to it. And eventually we are being told that Nnamdi Kanu has a case to answer. That is an insult to a judicial system. The world is watching. The world is watching. Tomorrow they will say IPOB is denting our name internationally, globally. IPOB is the one telling them they are clean Christian. IPOB is the one doing this, doing that. Dude, the world is watching. The movie that you guys are playing. They have claimed that IPOB is the reason why it is reported there is unaliving of Christian in Nigeria. Everything they have to blame us because they believe the world is blind. They are living in isolation. That's why no one is seeing all the injustices that they are meting on the innocent Nigerians. Because nothing is basically, a big thing for Nigeria. It doesn't concern them. Because they do not do things with the book or in the book. They do things of the book at all time. And this is the reason why they have a bad reputation all over the world. And that bad reputation is being, promoted and caused by your leaders. The inflation that they are telling you that it is the business people who are bringing inflation to Nigeria, the inflation is not because of the business people. The inflation is because of politicians. That's why some of these people, when they come to social media, some of them, they don't know politics, they don't know economics, they don't know nothing. They just jump into some of the things that they know nothing about. They just start talking because they want to be prejudiced against particular people or business people, and they will use the rhetorics that they are importing inflation because of what they are, the pricing of their goods and services. These are the things, misplaced priority. Those are the things this type of people are bringing into the system. Misplaced priority. Now you are not talking about the local product. The local product first, because if you want to talk about inflation and the curbing inflation, first of all, the politicians of Nigeria need to stop changing their money into dollar. They should stop changing naira into dollar so that it will be easy for them to launder it. The day they stop changing naira into dollar, the day they start saving in their currency, the day they start stealing in their currency, inflation target will be met, if there is even a target in Nigeria. Because as things are right now, I don't think there is any plan to curb inflation. Monetary system or monetary policies that have been implemented by the president on a daily basis, it's not even doing anything, because you cannot be introducing monetary policies whilst the politicians' behavior towards the economy or towards money is not helping the situation. Naira inflation, cost of living, all these things work hand in hand. Petrol price drives inflation crazy, because you know why? Petrol, when there was subsidy, petrol price inflation is supposed to be better because the petrol price is affordable. Goods and services movement are actually freely moving. There is no constraint towards logistics and all that. So inflation can be manageable. But now the petrol price, regardless of international price of crude or international price on petrol, it doesn't matter, because Nigeria has already had a bad governance. So when they hyped the price of petrol, it is going to now bring inflation to skyrocket. It will make inflation go up, cost of living go up, because logistics is very important for the farmers to transport their food. for the people who are going to buy. So in this regard, that is a key driver of inflation. Now, when someone is telling you it is individual business people who are driving inflation, because they don't understand how a nation is run. They just come to social media and talk because it will grant them followings. It will give them, traffics into their, their blog, the bloggers, and you think they give a fuck, they give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. These people don't care about you. They care about the money they make on the social media. That's the only thing that they care about. If you believe that these people care about you, think again, because they don't. They're telling you that businessmen now, they're not telling you about the government. The same thing Nnamdi Kanu was fighting. That is the same reason why Nnamdi Kanu is in a solitary confinement. The same reason why he is answering, stomach run cases in the Federal High Court of Nigeria. They won't tell you misplaced priority. They will always stir up someone, make them so famous so that they will use them to confuse you at every given time, because Nigeria is always looking for a Messiah where there is no Messiah. But when they see the real Messiah, they will never embrace them, because one or two things. He doesn't have respect. He is not diplomatic. He is insulting people. Dude, if I don't them insult you, you won't feel the pain. You won't get away from Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is real. So anybody who will come and be petting you, we want to make it easy for everyone, whilst you are trying to empower yourself. When you are undermining other people's business and you are telling us that you are empowered, dude, focus on the politicians, the problem A. Those are the reason why the key driving factor of economic meltdown in Nigeria. I don't even know if Nigeria will be on a gray list by FATF. I don't know if they are on the red alert or what, because of the way terrorism is being sponsored by the government, government officers. The way terrorism is being sponsored by the government, Nigeria, and the way they are also laundering money. They're supposed to be, somewhat on red alert, but they will not be. You know why? Because the people who are rating agencies, those who make sure they get data and information about all these things, they are complicit. Of course, the terrorism that is racketeering the fabric of the country is basically enjoyed by some people because it put food on their table, and it gives them access to the mineral resources that in those areas they will mine it. Of course, there are Boko Haram, there are those terrorists all over the place. So they have to mine those resources in exchange of giving these people weapons to terrorize you. And you think it is just terrorism, it's just a terrorism. No. It's not just terrorism. It is well orchestrated by external influence. That's why they cannot, those government officials which they use to promote these terrorists, they can never be apprehended. And instead of military to go out there to fight terrorism, they will not. Military will be, they will be ambushed, because the real terrorists are also in the military, integrated by impostor in Asorok and Garba Shehu. Those who have become activists today, Garba Shehu, Abubakar Malami also. All of these people, they under their watch, all these heinous things was done. These are the things the court did not consider. Nnamdi Kanu did, mentioned all of this. They didn't consider it. And then they have now tried, they are trying to, use some of these people who claim that they get influence to ruin businessmen in the name that they have integrity. I'm going to actually make a special video for that. Special video. Because some of them will be acting like they care about Nnamdi Kanu. They don't care. You see, he spoke about Nnamdi Kanu. He don't give a shit. And I'm going to tell you, when people come to your comment section with fake accounts, they don't know we monitor to know who are those. Those are the things they don't know. They come with fake accounts. They comment. You will find out that it is the same person who spoke good. Hey, Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is this person. Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Nnamdi Kanu should do this. Nnamdi Kanu should do that. Go in their closet. You will find the skeleton. That's what they do. Because the same people will come to your comment section when you say something that concerns them and insult Nnamdi Kanu with a fake account. The same people. So, but let me not digress. The most important thing is that the government is driving inflation in Nigeria by changing naira to dollar. They are driving inflation. Now you have monetary policy curbs inflation, but if you do not have other things put in place, like all this price of petrol to bring down the food price, because price of petrol brings down food prices. When food prices are high, inflation actually goes high. When petrol is high, food prices is bound to go up because of logistics. And inflation is bound to go high because food is what people cannot actually survive without. People must eat food. Whether the country is good or not, people must eat. So all these things, the government does not consider it. They're not fighting to get it done. They're just fighting to collect more tax from you in the name of monetary policy. And that monetary policy is not targeting to curb inflation, because it's supposed to be targeting to curb inflation. They're supposed to be lending rate, repo rate. They're supposed to bring it high. Yes, so that the federal central bank will get more money, right? So in that regard, now look at it. If they are not doing it, they are taking more money from you. That constrained pocket already that is racketeered by inflation and everything is now, they are now giving you extra stretch into your pocket. Pay tax, pay that, pay this, pay this. You wouldn't mind. You will pay it without complaining. They will be making more money, changing it into dollar, taking it abroad. This is the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is in a solitary confinement today. Now, the judge is begging him, please, look for a lawyer. He was with a lawyer. You didn't say anything. All this while, now he's no longer with a lawyer. He was with a lawyer. The lawyer presented everything as they could. You couldn't see it as, good enough for you to release the man. Rather, you say that he should go into trial. No, he has gone into trial now. So let's go straight. Before we come back to this issue we're talking about, let's go straight to here. I'm not going to go further on that of, please get a lawyer. Now, this says, Nnamdi Kanu abandons plan to enter the fence, insists on no case submission. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, look at it. There was something I told you. For those of you who pay attention, especially when I do a live broadcast or maybe a short video, I've always made mention that there was no case, there was no prima facie. In the cases that I hear the federal government was presenting against this man, I always made, that statement. I always made that statement because I have read that cases. I have read the, cross-examinations. I have seen the testimonies. I have heard the testimonies of Nigeria government to the judge, which most of them, in fact, all of them are not supposed to be admissible before the judge, but we will say, the judge might say, no, it is admissible. Now, what does the law say, right? It is not about only the judge, prerogative. It is about what does the law say, because the judge must actually speak or pass judgment in line with the law, because the judge can actually do one or two, but it must be in line with the law. They can never go contrary to the Nigeria Constitution, being a judge, right? So in this regard, Nnamdi Kanu now came back to it, because I've seen when they said they were going into trial, I was just surprised. You know why I was surprised? Because I did not see anything in this case. I have read it, I have studied that case, I have checked. What exactly is a material evidence? There is no that can be, there is no substance to all their claims. All their claims, not only that there is no substance, the claims and the presiding of the case is illegal, because those things they said, they brought, he got, he sent, he didn't send, he said, he broadcasted, he said people must unalive people in When did we? I saw my voice went offline. So what happened? How long ago? Can anyone inform me how long ago my voice was not coming in? I am looking at Judge Money on Facebook. How long ago did I lose my voice? How long ago? I guess if you comment on Judge Money blog, I will see it, or on YouTube. If I comment on YouTube, I will see. How long ago? What was I reading? 5 minutes. Wow. I've covered a lot in 5 minutes. Okay. Sorry about that. I think when I move off my screen to read, I think I missed it there. Kindly inform me again if the voice go off, because I want to read. I was already done reading this. So, like I said, that the case that was not admissible before the law, and I said to you that the reason why Simon Ekpa was convicted in Finland is because when the Finnish authority actually investigated the activities of Simon Ekpa, they cited the issue of international terrorism. That's what they used to convict him. But now Nnamdi Kanu was also in Europe, and he said all the things he said according to Nigeria charges. European government or British government did not see that as a crime, because they have to work in line with international laws. No matter the petition that was written to them by Nigeria, they did not act upon it, because they know that Nnamdi Kanu was exercising his right or his mandate that is enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights recognized by the Geneva Convention. So they knew that he was not committing any crime. They did not act upon it the same way the same European country acted upon Simon Ekpa's, because they knew they were doing two different things. It's not about I am affiliated to this organization. It's about what are you individually doing, not what you are doing for the organization you are affiliated with, because you are going to answer individually. Then if the organization need to be summoned, there will be summoned as a witness. That's what happened to Simon Ekpa. So, because the organization want him to desist in using their names, that's when the organization will be summoned to ask whether or not all these things we have ascertained, is it done in the name of your organization? The organization will say no. That's how a good, justice proceedings is done. So now, in this regard, Nnamdi Kanu and everything that they are charging him supposed to be, done in Britain, in London. But instead, Nigeria is presiding over a case that they do not have some jurisdiction over. Or Motoshe George, who is begging Nnamdi Kanu again to get a lawyer. So let us read this again. Kindly remind me if the volume goes out again. If the volume goes out again, I don't know if it did. I don't know if I can still hear myself. I can't hear myself on Facebook. But I believe the people on YouTube are hearing me. As I can see, my volume is working here from the... Can you guys hear me on Facebook? Can you hear me on Facebook, guys? What's going on? Is my voice coming out? Okay, now. Okay. Oh, I think I'm connected to the ear. No, not Bluetooth. I can't hear myself from Facebook, but you see Patrick Onyeka. Thank you very much. So it's coming out properly now. Okay. Is my voice all right, all right. I think it is. It is. Thank you very much for that. So let us go to read quickly. Kanu abandons plan to enter the fence, insists on no case submission. The detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Kanu, on Monday abandoned his earlier plan to call witnesses in his ongoing trial before the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is being prosecuted on 7 counts of terrorism charges brought against him by the federal government. On Friday, Kanu had prayed court for an adjournment after informing the trial judge, Justice James Omotoshe, that his former legal team, led by a former Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Chief Kanu Agabi San, had yet to release his case file to him. Meanwhile, Kanu had earlier expressed his readiness to open his defense in a written application to court, in which he indicated his intention to call witnesses and requested the issuance of witnesses summons or witness summons. However, at the resumed hearing on Monday, Kanu told the court that upon reviewing the case file, he had concluded that there were no valid charge against him. He argued that since he believed the charges were unlawful and that the prosecution had failed to establish any case, there was no need for him to proceed with his defense. In response, the trial judge, Justice James Omotoshe, directed Kanu to file a written address formally stating his position and to serve the prosecution accordingly. Justice Omotoshe, pay attention, further advised the IPOB leader to consult experts in criminal laws to understand the possible legal implication of his decision. The judge thereafter adjourned the case to November 4, 5, and 6 for the adoption of final written addresses based either on Kanu's position that no case had been established against him or for him to proceed with his defense if he decides otherwise. Details later. So that is exactly what we have actually seen. That Nnamdi Kanu finally, after studying his case, he abandoned that there is no need for him to enter trial because there is no case, there is no prima facie case against him. After looking at the case, there is no need for him to enter trial. And if a due process of the laws in Nigeria is followed, you will know that there is no need for Nnamdi Kanu to enter trial because the cases and the testimonies and all the evidence are like immaterials and they are not admissible before a learned and competent judge who is unbiased. Because what we see there is that the judge himself is already biased. If he is not biased, first of all, he needs to actually acknowledge the court ruling in Kenya that sought that Nnamdi Kanu was illegally rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. He's supposed to pay attention to that and not lose focus on that, because that is a very big picture. Secondly, everything that they charged Nnamdi Kanu against was not committed in Nigeria. So Nigeria lacked jurisdiction to proceed with, trial. So that's exactly the thing that Nnamdi Kanu quoted, and quoted it in line with Nigeria law, in line with international laws, because you cannot violate a law in order to get the law, uphold the law. No one can stand in the violation of law claiming that they are trying to uphold the law. That is what the Nigeria judiciary is doing against Nnamdi Kanu. They are sitting on the violation of international laws and trying to establish a court proceedings that will eventually work against the defendant, because they just want to jail the defendant as he has been placed in arbitrary detention. So they want to jail him at all cost. So telling him to get a lawyer is not that the guy care. The guy doesn't care, because he doesn't need to care. He needs to care about the law. He needs to care about the law, home and away, internationally and local law. He needs to care about it. That's the only thing he needs to care about, a person that is standing trial before him. He doesn't need to tell you, please get the lawyer, please get the lawyer. Yes, we know that getting the lawyer is equally important, but the lawyer has been there, different categories. What happened? Nothing. The same story. Unconstitutional, court proceeding. Violation of your right to fair hearing. That's what they are doing. That's what the Nigeria court is doing. So now Justice Omotoshe gave this November 4, 5, and 6 in order to address the matter, and the duly written, letter to confirm that there is no case or prima facie case that he cites in all these frivolous charges that was presented. So since he is not, there is no case worthy of him going into defense, he decided to file again no case submission. That is like changing your lawyer, and that lawyer read all the case and then decided that no, there is no case, there is no prima facie, so we continue to file no case submission. So if the no case submission is actually turned down, then the judge will now decide to give verdict. Then after the judge gives verdict, it depends on which way the verdict go. The verdict can go that the judge will now give a miscarriage of justice and say that this man committed a crime that was not committed in Nigeria. So first of all, the judge does not have jurisdiction to rule over that. But if the judge eventually rule over that, then that means that there is still chances that you go to appeal court. The same appeal court that stated that Nnamdi Kanu has no case in Nigeria because Nigeria has no jurisdiction. So what is going to be the appeal court going? You go to appeal court again. Is the appeal court going to say a different thing from what they have given before? They won't, because it will now bring a slap to the face of appeal court. An appeal court will say again, there is no case for this man to answer. As per the ruling, initial ruling of the appeal court. And then Nigeria will go to Supreme Court, which is the apex court of the land. Now, when Nigeria reaches Supreme Court, the Supreme Court will work in favor of the first citizen, Emilokon, and say we should take you back to High Court. Or he will say that the judgment of the High Court will stand. Maybe the High Court have decided to jail Nnamdi Kanu arbitrarily again. Then you will now see that Nigeria is what we say it is. Then maybe we might decide to go, through the process of going into the street like Nepal did, or like the Cameroon is doing, because you cannot beat a child and ask them not to cry. We will march in solidarity. It is not Chowore's way of. Chowore is he did his good, he did his best. Might not be a planned march. It might be something that we erupt automatically, that will be on autopilot. It is the right of the people to peacefully gather and assemble. Section 41. Section 40, the right of people, freedom of movement, go anywhere you want to go around the country. 1999 Constitution, Section 40 and 41, we stand on it and peacefully march. If Nigeria decided to unalive people who are marching, then people might actually invoke the Constitution will grant them the life, the right to life. The Constitution that grants you right to life can actually, you can take a firearm from a police officer and use it against him if you want to unalive you for with no provocation. If there is no provocation, police officer try to unalive you without provocation, right to life kicks in. That is one thing that all of us need to understand. Constitution of Nigeria gives every citizen right to life. You see those police who will see you on the road, they start slapping you. They're slapping you. If they slap you to that extent that you can't reach it anymore. They're slapping you, and that slap is posing a threat that you can even have heart attack because of the pain. You can invoke right to life. If you watch the situation, you can invoke right to life, because they can slap you into coma. Those are Constitution of Nigeria that is undermined. Police does not have any reason to go out there and start slapping you, beating you up. No, they don't, without any provocation. They don't. They are human beings as you are before they are given that opportunity for you to pay them as a police, because you are paying them. Those are one thing. Secondly, if you look at it, whilst Nnamdi Kanu is in jail on arbitrary detention, a narrative is being sealed that the business people are the problem. I touched on it initially. I'm going to touch on it again. The narrative is being sold that the business people are the problem of Nigeria. For jokers and stupid people, they will believe that business people are the problem of Nigeria. Now, let me tell you, the business people are not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is the government and the institution that is supposed to regulate business people. Because the reason why they cannot regulate business people, before you bring regulation into business, first of all, you need to know businesses that SMEs that you need to fund, because government, it is the duty of the government to fund SMEs. It is their duty to make sure, because SMEs create more employment. For local SMEs, they create more employment. So the government, before you go into a business and regulate it, you need to know what you have to invest in that business, because that business is generating revenue for the government. You need to know the business. You need to know, first of all, you need to now verify what is the impediment when people import their goods within the wharf, the shipping, and not the shipping, the duties, how much is it? Because they know that if they have to regulate business, first thing they have to do is to go to that duty fees that people has been crying and lamenting about. So it is going to take money away from the pocket of the government and pocket of the customs, that those criminal customs that are placed there that do account for their boss at the end of every week. So those people are going to be losing their criminal money. Government is going to be losing that money that are realizing from importers. Because there is a lot of them, they charge too much. So people who are doing importation, they don't realize that this duty fee is also what drives the price of the market, price of goods and services. Duty fee, or not only duty fee, logistics, local logistics. When the goods arrive in Nigeria, imagine you are selling the goods in the east. The goods, the only port of entry in Nigeria is Lagos. You have to now transport that goods from Lagos to any other place you want to. From there, you will see custom on the road, police, army, civil defense, road safety. You will see them. You go to settle. You go to settle. You go to settle. How much are you going to make as a profit eventually if you factor in all these expenditures and then you put a price tag on your goods? What is it going to be? They tell you it is the business people. Now, let me tell you again. When Very Dark Man came to tell us that the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is not being released, it is because of Igbo politicians. That is what we knew all this while. We know that it is Igbo politicians are part and parcel of it. Now, here is the kicker. He joined the business people. Do you know the reason why he joined the business people? Because his plan is to destroy the Igbo businesses in the name that when he tells you that they are the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is not released, so that you will justify every of his move. I just noticed, when he was playing this game, there is a way I was just following him to understand exactly the motive behind. Nnamdi Kanu don't give a damn about Nnamdi. VDM don't give a damn about Nnamdi Kanu. I can categorically tell you. He just want to use that name to run his narrative. I'm telling you, he's using the name to run his narrative. There was a comment today. I'm going to post it. He didn't know that I will know that that fake account belongs to him. So the thing there is that he wants to make you hate Igbo businessmen. I didn't want to make it Igbo thing in his activities. I didn't want to make it Igbo thing. But now he wants to make you to hate Igbo businessmen. Where did Very Dark Man get his information from that Igbo businessmen are the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is not released? Tell me, is there anything that Igbo businessmen are going to benefit or lose when Nnamdi Kanu is released? Tell me. Nnamdi Kanu was not against Igbo businessmen because he was even telling Igbo businessmen to protect yourself because your doom is coming. The Lagos State Authority is going to ruin your lives. He warned them. Isn't it that out of love? If he hates them, he wouldn't have warned them, right? Is it coming to pass or not? We heard the wife of a president, the first citizen, telling them that they will invoke gods of Yoruba land to take Igbo properties and they will chase them away from Lagos State. We heard it from the wife of a president, all right? Nnamdi Kanu warned them. So why would the Igbo businessmen turn around against this man? If there are Igbo business persons that could turn around against Nnamdi Kanu, we know few of them. If there is any of them involved, we know them. But we cannot call someone coming up to tell us. And the reason why these few Igbo businessmen might be involved, few of them, we know them in their numbers, is because they are connected to politics. Their money making and everything comes from politics that they play. How they sell our people over. But this has nothing to do with Igbo businessmen not wanting Nnamdi Kanu to come out. Because anybody telling you about Igbo businessmen not wanting Nnamdi Kanu to come out, that is a fallacy. It is a fallacy to sell, in order to justify a narrative and a plan to take over businesses and markets. If you know you are a business person, come up for a business. Forget about trying to slander the name of people in the name that you have integrity. You have no integrity in doing that. People who will buy those bullshit from you is those your rat groups. We've been in this for a very long time. You see, media saga, you just came into it, buddy, and you do it individually. Stay away from people's business. Do your own business. Stop telling us Igbo businessman does not want Nnamdi Kanu to be released. That's a lie. It is not true. If you say Igbo politicians, some of them, not even all of them, we will agree with you. And it is our business to solve, not you to remind us. It's not of you to remind us. You don't like Nnamdi Kanu. What you say in secret about him shows that you don't like him. So stop acting like you like him. Because when you speak to him, you melt the heart of some of these rat groups that are from Igbo descent, who don't use brain, they use emotions. Because they are not emotional intelligent, you use it to actually, finger them. Now, the last time he said that, I went to comment section, I wrote something, then I went to investigate. How will this man love Nnamdi Kanu? Only to discover, through a comment, that this guy doesn't love Nnamdi Kanu. How is he now the one? Why is he in a position to tell us Igbo businessman does not want Nnamdi Kanu to come out when this man wants to scuttle the opportunities of Igbo businessmen to take it over? And again, he told you that he will bring a goods to Delta State. After telling us it is because of Igbo businessmen that Nnamdi Kanu is not released. No, connect these two dots. That guy is manipulating all of you who are following him. I don't give up on someone easily. I don't give up on someone easily. Someone I used to like. In fact, I still like him. Maybe he can change tomorrow and be him and stop pretending. You just need to be yourself. You cannot pretend for a very long time. You want to do business. Go into your business. If your business is cheap, we patronize you. I know that Nigerians don't give a damn. As long as they are getting their goods and services cheap, people patronize them. But now, a person who looks for a cheap product ends up spending more than a rich person. If you're always looking for a cheap product, you will end up spending more than a rich person. I have come to realize that. Anybody who is buying cheap products will end up spending more than a rich person. Because a rich person will buy once. You will buy 3 times or 4 times before the rich person's one is actually, broken. You will spend like 3 times because you are buying fake. Those are the things. And then I can tell you categorically, tomorrow I am going to show you since this issue of business has begun. I'm going to show you step by step how you will be able to find out whether or not the iPhone you are buying, those of you who want to buy iPhone, how you will know whether or not it is original. Because do you know that you can get an iPhone? You can get an iPhone. You will see that this is an iPhone. Then inside of it is a refurbished. It's just a Chinese iPhone. There are Chinese iPhone. Now you get a RX phone. Inside of it is not RX, but they will give you features of RS. Now, putting on cameras does not actually show you whether or not the phone is original. It is just about, if you put on a camera on a phone, it doesn't prove to you whether the phone is original. No. It can only tell you whether the phone has a software problem. Because what creates heating on a panel? I'm an electronics and electrical engineer. So the phone, and I did this from the grassroots. I fix phone in a Mekofo Plaza. I fix phone in Enugu. So before we begin to go all Iban Waipotal. So we know these things. Not just a phone engineer, but being, these things is very, very important that you recognize them, since the scrutiny is going towards this direction. I'm going to direct you how you will know, especially all those phones that they are showing you. They tell you it's original, it's a SR phone imported in China, and they give you 280,000. Original XR is not less than 350,000. Original XR phone. And I'm going to show you so that you will actually try people's integrity. Igbo businessmen have nothing to do with the detention of Nnamdi Kanu. As I have found it out, why does Very Dark Man want us to go against Igbo business people? Why do you want us to hate Igbo business people? I want to find out. Because as long as you took this your saga to this direction and come with manipulation thereof, dude, you have a motive. And then the fact that you are saying when not you talk Dangote, Hausa people will complain. You talk that person, Yoruba people will complain. There is no substance to what you are saying because you are talking jargon. I can categorically tell you that you use B-Lord because you don't have emotional intelligence. When you are fighting this battle and people are actually, pinpointing where is the NGO money. This thing, NGO money, you don't need to use NGO money to actually respond to this type of crucial situation, because NGO money, he can keep his NGO money in the bank and not using it and making you to make noise because he's making money on the social media. He's making money on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. He's making money. So he can make as much money as he can to buy those phones. It is not NGO's money. So let us be realistic and emotional intelligent. He can be keeping the NGO's money so that when you make noise too much, he will come out to tell you that the NGO money is still there. So he is a man of integrity. It's not about the NGO. It's not about the NGO money. It's about what is this guy up to, the mission that is embarked upon. It has nothing to do with that money people donated for him. That money people donated for him can be there for years. He might not touch it because he wants to tell you that he has integrity. If you request it, he will give you account to it. That's not the problem. The problem is he has an agenda. That agenda is what you need to focus on. He tell you Igbo businessman, and he want to start importing things and come closer to Igbo land in Delta State in order to sell it. So while you are busy fighting Igbo businessmen, while you are busy rejecting Igbo businessmen, while you are busy hating on your brother, Very Dark Man will be importing stuff, bullshit, fake iPhones, and I will prove it to you tomorrow. That everything that immediately, because I saw those phones, they are fake. Immediately I saw the screen of that phone. I saw they are fake. Every iPhone, right? Every iPhone has a unique visual, right? A unique visual. Whether it is the camera on, whether it is the phone on, there is a unique visual of iPhone. Then I will give you a link tomorrow, how you will check. For those of you who want to live life that you are not qualified to live, you want to go and buy iPhone while you are hating on your Igbo billionaires. because he put it as a billionaire, because you will also hate billionaire, right? There are those of them who, are counted as billionaires. You will hate billionaire for a very dark man. Hate Obi Kubana them, the ones he hated, he has picked on. Hate Obi Kubana them, hate chief priest, even though that one is fucked up. You hate a lot of them, right? You hate you will also hate Zenko. Hate many of them who are, in fact, there are a lot of them. You will hate all of them. So that very dark man will be a man of integrity, playing on your intelligence. We will never hate our businessmen. We need our businessmen because they are our capitalists. For now, we will never hate on them. So very dark man, try again. Emotional intelligence is very important for you to digest everything you see in the media space. These people are a bunch of manipulators. Bunch of manipulators. They cannot beat us in this, The only thing you have, very dark man, is number of people who follow you. But we will stimulate their mind with time. We stimulate their mind with time. Stimulate with time. It takes time to adjust, but it will adjust. Manage your fame. Manage your fame. Channel your energy. If you want to do business, do business. Remove anything about Igbo people in your mouth. Very dark man. Just desist from, because you think, you think that you are a strong guy in a way that you can handle media pressure. Dude, you cannot. You cannot. It's not about the number. It's about who is listening to you. Many people tried it. Today, it's either they are in jail or they lose relevance. Don't pick on Igbo people. Don't push Igbo people to hate their businessmen just because you want to do business. If you do that again, you will become our topic. If you want to speak on for Nnamdi Kanu, which I know that it's like people are forcing you to do so. Just speak on it. Use it to garner followers. It's fine. But speak on it. Don't tell us who is holding Nnamdi Kanu, because we know. We are in the field. We are not in the room. We are outside. But we are outside. You don't need to direct us. You don't need to basically tell us our problem. We know our problem. We know our weaknesses. We know our strength. Please, I beg of you. I don't want to make you my topic. I don't want to make you my topic. Just don't worry about the amount of followers here. These little followers you see that follows me, they can do a lot of damage that you cannot imagine. Because we will present facts and figures. That's what we will present. They are already telling you Igbo people want to buy you. Igbo people want to buy you. They want to use you as a sacrificial lamb just to hate on Igbo people. Because that's why they're telling you Igbo people want to buy you in advance. Because they are planning on buying you. And your last fight will be like you are fighting with Igbo people. That's the Nigeria for you. If you serve the zoo, you come back in shame. And that's Nigeria you are serving now. You think we don't know. Don't serve Nigeria, you will be shameful. Better focus on your business so that if you have a mind of business, kindly go into that business. We will support you. Don't try to manipulate people. Competition is allowed. Don't be scared of competition. This is the reason why it looks like Igbo people are the people who succeed in business, because they are not scared of competition. They go into that competition. They go into competition. They say that a fish magnet was killed by Igbo men or unalived by Igbo people. That's not true. That's not true. Fish Magnet was inspiring millions of or thousands of youth of Igbos and the Nigeria as in extension. He's inspiring them that a handsome young boy like that can leave handsomeness and go into get down and dirty, and you will get your reprieve in time to come. So he's inspiring the youth to get down and dirty. He's inspiring the youth to go into agriculture. So it is enough for them to take him out. Nigeria system. It's not Igbo people who unalive him. People will claim, he's a competitors on what? Some of these fish are being imported, from the north. Some of them are being imported. Not all of them are actually, manufactured or processed in the east. So why would you think it is only Igbo people who will have, who will have um, jealousy against the young boy? Everything they blame the Igbo, but their word is enough for the wise. Thank you, Cross. And I'm going to leave it here. If you know how to pound inside a mortar. If you don't know how to pound it on your leg. We have time for this. And we can do it the whole year. If you say we are your problem. I still love you. VDM until otherwise. So guys, thank you for coming. Share and like the video if you haven't liked the video. Let you know continue spreading the love. Nnamdi Kanu must be released. Justice Omoto say if you love that guy, like you claim calling him your brother, give a judgment that is in line with the law. Give a judgment that does not undermine international laws and the local laws. Give that judgment. That's the only way you can show you care. I rest my case. Shalom.